Hi Cosorians, I'm Chef Margaret and today I'll be making a kale salad with crispy chickpeas made in the air fryer. It's hearty, robust, it's got so many textures going on, and it's so easy to make, and it's all plant-based. Hit the subscribe button to become part of the Cosori community, and if you'd like to be notified every time we upload a new recipe video, hit the bell icon. So the first thing that we're gonna do is preheat the air fryer to 400 degrees. So just get that preheating. And while it's going, we're gonna prep our chickpeas. So I have one 15-ounce can of chickpeas that I have drained, rinsed, and patted dry. And you want to make sure that the chickpeas are dry because that helps them get crispy in the air fryer. So don't skip that step. And to that, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of olive oil and a ½ teaspoon of salt. Beautiful. And I have a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. Get that in there. A 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin, also a 1/4 teaspoon of ground coriander, and 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And we're just going to mix it all together. Beautiful. And if you don't like, some of these spices or seasonings, you can totally substitute with your favorite ones. If you have a certain spice blend that you like, there's so many different variations on flavorings that you can do with these chickpeas. So you can customize them and make them your favorite. And once the air fryer is done preheating, we'll add the chickpeas in and get them cooking. All right, the air fryer is preheated, so let's add the chickpeas. All right. Just gonna add all the chickpeas right in. You can already hear them sizzling. Perfect. Spread them out so they're in like a nice even layer, and these are gonna cook at 400 degrees for 12 minutes. And I'm gonna press the shake button. So the shake reminder is gonna help remind us to shake the basket halfway through cooking so that the chickpeas get really golden and crispy throughout. All right, the shake reminder just beeped, so let's pull out the chickpeas and give them a shake. They're already looking really nice and golden, but I'm just gonna shake it a couple of times, just get everything nice and distributed throughout, and then we'll pop them back in for the remaining 6 minutes. All right, the chickpeas are done in the air fryer, so let's check them out. Oh, they look perfect. They got super crunchy and golden looking. They're gonna be the perfect topping to our salad. So I am just going to pop these in a bowl and have them ready to go while we assemble the rest of our salad. Oh yes. And these chickpeas make an awesome snack. Like if you don't even want to make the salad, just making crispy chickpeas like to have as a snack or for anything is so delicious. And like I said, you can customize with your favorite spices or seasonings. And they're such a good healthy snack for you. They're packed with protein, nutrients, and fiber. So I definitely recommend just making crispy chickpeas on the side just to snack on. So next we will make our dressing for the salad. So now it's time to make the dressing for the salad. So I'm just gonna combine everything in this bowl and whisk together, and then it's all done. So I've got 2 garlic cloves that I've minced. Just gonna add that right in. A 1/4 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice. I've got a 1/3 cup of tahini. And if you aren't familiar with tahini, it's just sesame seed paste, so ground up sesame seeds. That is all it is. And it helps make this dressing super creamy and delicious. And we've got 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Put that in there. We've got 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, just for a little bit of sweetness. A half a teaspoon of salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and 1 tablespoon of hot water. And this just helps thin everything out and get it nice and smooth and creamy for the dressing. Perfect. And if for some reason, like if your tahini is kind of thick, a little bit too thick, you can just add another tablespoon of hot water just to thin it out more and get it to the consistency that you like. But this is looking perfect. It's nice, thick, creamy, and delicious. And this dressing is all plant-based and it's so delicious. It kind of gives like a Caesar salad type dressing vibe, but plant-based. So good. And this is like, I also love putting this on like just roasted vegetables, or if like you air fried some vegetables, just drizzling it on top. It's also delicious just like that too. All right, this was super easy to make, super simple. You can keep this in the refrigerator. It'll last for, a week or 2 and it'll be totally fine. I'm just gonna keep it out while I prep the kale leaves for the salad. Now it's time to prep the kale. So I have 1 large bunch of fresh, beautiful kale that I'm just going to remove the kale from the rib. And I'm using lacinato kale. You can use curly kale or your favorite kale that you have available. If you're not into kale, you could use romaine lettuce. That would be nice, hearty, and crisp enough to stand up to the dressing. And so I'm just going to remove the kale from the ribs, just like this, just by pulling it off. And the ribs are a little bit too rough, a little bit too tough to eat raw. So that's why I like to remove them for this salad. And if you're wondering like, what do I do with the kale ribs? I don't want to waste them. I would suggest maybe blanching them and then socking them in some cold water. And then you could chop them up and add them to your next stir fry, and that way you don't waste them. I've also seen people pickle the ribs too, like, if you have some pickling liquid available, or you could just compost it or toss it away if you have no other use for it. So now we're just going to cut the kale, and I'm going to cut it into about 3/4 of an inch ribbons, but no need to be precise. Just, do a nice chop on the kale. Perfect. Perfect. Now I'm just going to add all of this beautiful kale in this large bowl. And then we're actually going to massage the kale. So I have about a tablespoon of each of olive oil and fresh lemon juice that I'm gonna add to the kale first, and we'll massage the kale with the olive oil and lemon juice. And doing this just helps remove the bitterness from the kale and helps the kale kind of break down, and it gets it so much easier to like eat and digest, and it kind of softens it. So it's a really important step, I think, when you're making raw kale salads. And make sure you're using, your clean hands while doing this. You just wanna get in there. And you will definitely be able to like notice when the kale has softened. You can feel it when you've been massaging it, that it's breaking down and it's softening, which is what you want. Yeah, this looks awesome. So now I'm just gonna give my hands a rinse, and then we're ready to assemble the salad. All right, and now we're gonna add some of our dressing to the kale. I like to start out with a little bit, and you can always add more, but you can't take away. So we're just gonna give it a really good toss. Get everything distributed. I'm gonna add a little bit more dressing, just a little bit. Perfect. Give another toss. And this salad is perfect to keep in the refrigerator if you want to like make it ahead. The kale is so hardy and robust that it'll stay good and fresh in the refrigerator. So you could like, prep it out for your lunches or for your dinner and you have it ready to go. And it's so hearty and delicious and packed with nutrients, so it's so good for you. Awesome. Now I'm just going to put it in my serving bowl. Just going to probably just dump the whole thing in there. Yes. Awesome. And I love the color of the bright green kale. And then we get to top it with the crispy chickpeas. Perfect. It looks so beautiful. I would make this for any dinner party too I was hosting. I can't wait to try it. Now it's time to finally taste test. So I've served myself a little bowl of some salad and I'm gonna try and get some, I wanna get some kale and chickpeas. It's so good, it's so crunchy. This salad hits all the right taste buds I'm craving for in a healthy salad. It's got so much texture, which I love. You've got the hearty, robust kale and the creamy tahini dressing. And then you've got these crunchy chickpeas that are perfectly spiced with all of the seasonings going on. It just has everything you want in a salad. And if you wanted to add even more protein to it, you could add some chicken or shrimp, or salmon would be delicious, or some tofu or tempeh if you're plant-based. But this salad on its own is all plant-based, which is so amazing, and you wouldn't even be able to tell. And so let me know, what are your favorite healthy salad toppings? I love crispy chickpeas, or some nuts or seeds or dried fruits that really help with the texture of salad. So let me know in the comments below. And thank you so much, you guys, for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.